Welcome to this circle where we celebrate Unitarian Universalism as a living religious tradition, which means we continue to learn and grow over time as we explore this faith. If you're visiting us for the first time, whether you're in the Zoom sanctuary or here in the Great Hall, we're very happy to have you, and we offer you a especially warm welcome. This morning, HB Stedham, any pronouns are good for HB, our Director of Lifespan Education, and members of this summer's Artist Way class will be leading today's service. This Unitarian Universalist faith honors the wisdom of clergy and laity as well. And we have many contributors this morning. They include Jensen Pritchard and Walt Hauk, both of whom use he, him pronouns, along with Janae Stogden, she, they, Nancy Addis, Kimberly Yazik, Snow Stedham, Ruth Linden Felser, Linda Fasano, Maria Elmer, Mary O'Keefe, and Penny Morley, who use she, her pronouns. We're in for a real diverse, creative treat this morning.
What is The Artist's Way? Glad you asked. It's a book and an exercise and a way of living. It's a program predicated on what Julia Cameron calls basic principles. Ideas like creativity is the natural order of life, that a creative force dwells within every one of us, and that refusal to be creative is actually self-will and is actually counter to our true nature as creative beings, that we are actually the ones who block ourselves from thinking and acting creatively. And luckily, that because it's us doing the blocking, that it can be us that can free ourselves from any creative blocks that we're experiencing. And the Artist's Way specifically works to help us do that, to unblock our creative selves, to live our most authentic lives in 3 different ways. So first, we read a chapter each week of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It's a 12-week book, and it helps us think deeply about our passions, our mindsets, our connections. It helps us look at where we've been, examine where we are now, and dream about where we'd like to go. The chapters offer us tasks to help accomplish this, from making collages to selecting mantras to actually listing out in front of us where we can actually see it, our wildest goals. And these tasks are designed to push us into diving deeper into our creative natures. Linda Fasano is going to share a reflection about our weekly readings and what that was like for her. The second step, or the second path, the second practice is called morning pages. Highly controversial because they require that you actually get up early, supposedly. Janae, I'm looking at you. Every morning, get up early every morning and write 3 pages longhand, not type. Snow, I'm looking at you. Not voice memo it out, but to actually write 3 pages longhand, stream of consciousness style. Whatever goes through your head during that time, you're just supposed to write it down for 3 full pages. You can tell that it's going to be controversial because it's a lot. This component specifically, it does have a design. It's to help us get out of our anxious thoughts, help us uncover some things that might be blocking our creativity, and to get us started listening to the creative ebb and flow within us. No judgment. It's not you're going to erase 3 lines because you don't like the way that last sentence came out. You just write 3 pages nonstop. Julia Cameron, who wrote the book, calls the morning pages the primary tool of creative recovery. And if you've been through this program, you'd be surprised how it does affect you. And today, Ruth Linden Felser is going to be telling you more about the morning pages. And then the third component that we have going on is the artist's date. Also, surprisingly controversial at times, because once a week, you're supposed to block off time for yourself, by yourself, the selfishness of it all, to to basically schedule yourself a play date. It's literally for us, it's to help fill our creative wells. You know how they say you can't pour from an empty cup. You're supposed to fill this up with things that inspire you. And don't take your kids because they might distract you. And make this time for yourself. Now, the thing is, while it sounds intimidating and like a lot, really, an artist date can be as complex as like taking a train to the city and attending a book launch. I did that last summer. Or you can just stroll along a creek and yeah, Snow and I have done those too, where you just walk along a body of water. The idea is, what's your intention? Is this time that you are specifically taking for yourself to fill your well? Congratulations, you've got an artist date. Whatever fills your soul, whatever delights your senses can totally be an artist date. You just have to say, this is my time. And Mary O'Keefe will share her perspective on that one. So, you have a lot in store for you, along with some lovely presentations as shows of the creative spirits that have been kindled within us this summer. And I'm so glad you're here to learn about it. So,
I started coming to services, participating in activities at the Unitarian Universalist Society of Schenectady back in November of 24. We all know what happened in 2024. I learned about the Artist's Way book discussion group and decided to participate, and I'm so glad I did. Not only did I learn quite a bit about myself, but friendships and community were created under the loving guidance of HB. Thank you, HB. I appreciate it. The author interjected a lot about God's influence on our lives and creativity, using such terms as God, creator, universe, etc. But she did encourage the reader to use whatever we felt comfortable with. I grew up in the Roman Catholic Church tradition, and I truly respect my family and friends who remain devout in their faith. I've distanced myself from the Catholic tradition for many reasons, and I blatantly rejected right up front using the religious concept of God because it had no meaning or connection for me. However, as I delved deeper into the book, I got thinking about my relationship with God. What does it look like? How should I feel? How can I become more connected? I don't think I ever actually rejected God as a higher power, but my connection to it was based on the rote ritual that I was brought up on. I'm now open to the possibilities. Two themes that appeared throughout the book that truly resonated with me were synchronicity and our inner child. On synchronicity, a couple of quotes that struck me were every time we say, let there be in any form, something happens. And desire, ask, believe, receive. And those are Stella Terrell Mann's quotes. Another quote, and I'm going to butcher this guy's name, I will try my best. Albert Zent Georgi, not sure, but if you want to know, I can tell you. A discovery is said to be an accident meeting a prepared mind. Per Merriam-Webster, synchronicity is, in definition two, the coincidental occurrence of events, and especially psychic events that seem related but are not explained by conventional mechanisms of causality, especially in the psychology of Carl Jung. Although not very familiar with Jung's psychology, I definitely experienced what I deemed as synchronicity as I started to really pay attention and listen to what was happening around me. The first example of that was at our fourth meeting. I had this underlying need to question my relationship with God, and I brought this up to the discussion group. Another member stated enthusiastically that she had been thinking the same exact thing. And lo and behold, the next chapter began with addressing that very concept of how we feel about God. Talk about synchronicity. On the inner child, a couple of quotes that really struck me. One by Stephen Nakamanovich. The most potent muse is all. The most potent muse of all is our own inner child. And Julia Cameron, who is the author of the book, art lies in the moment of encounter. We meet our truth, we meet ourselves. We meet ourselves and we meet our self expression. We become original because we become something specific, an origin from which work flows. And Albert Einstein said something that apparently to the group became very controversial, and we had quite a discussion about it, and we continue to have a discussion about it. It really jarred some thoughts about this. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Take what you will. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. Um, as for the inner child, I've been asked by a therapist to really delve into building back a relationship with my younger selves. Okay, yes, I've been in therapy. Who hasn't? And it's helped me better understand who I am as an adult. And that child still exists in her pure form, and I carry her with me in my creativity, problem solving, and sensibilities. And that is a beautiful thing. I feel that this book was not just a manifest for me as an artist, but also a guide to living a more creative life. We are tasked every day with problem solving, critical thinking, hopefully, but also dreaming, creating, making, discovering, exploring. I'd like to leave you with this quote by Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism. I hope I said that right. Be really whole, and all things will come to you. Thank you. And the next person up is Kimberly Yazik, now has some writing to share with us.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kimberly Yazik, and I started to be involved with this church over the summer. I am familiar with Unitarian Universalist fellowships, so I am quickly getting comfortable with the environment here. I've always considered myself to be a writer, and it means a great deal to me, but I haven't actually done a whole lot of it, especially over the last 15 or 20 years. About 5 months ago, someone asked me if I would be interested in writing lyrics for his music. I was very interested and started to work on them. Well, that particular person kind of lost his ambition before I was able to show him what I had come up with. But the exciting thing is that I started to write again after so long. The next thing I knew, I had been invited to join this group for recovering artists called the Artist Way. It was serendipity. It could not have been a more perfect time for me to do this, and I am very grateful for the opportunity to have been a member of HB's group this summer. Now I would like to share a short memoir and 2 short poems. This is about my grandfather who died from emphysema at the age of 72. A side note, there is an intentional shift in tense, so don't let that throw you off. Granddaddy. I don't remember much about Granddaddy because I was only 4 when he came to where we live, and I am 7 now, and he's gone. But I know he smelled like Old Spice because Old Spice smells like Granddaddy. Only Granddaddy. In the bathroom cabinet, along with the Old Spice, was a heavy little cup with no handle. It had a short, fat brush in it with bristles that looked like they were from a raccoon or something. Somebody said that Granddaddy uses it for shaving, but I don't get it. How does he use that for shaving? The top of Granddaddy's head is shiny. That means he is bald. Bald Granddaddy. Sometimes he sweats drip down and he wipes it off off the sides of his face and the back of his neck. He uses a fancy cloth that he pulls out of his pocket. Then he folds it up and puts it back in. I guess he knows that he's going to need it because he carries it in his pocket all the time. One time he gave it to me to blow my nose, but I said, no, thank you. because that is gross. His pants have tiny blue and white stripes. The white stripes are like little ribbons. Only Granddaddy has pants like that, and he wears them in the summer. Sometimes Granddaddy is coughing and coughing. Mostly he's quiet. He likes to fix things while he is quiet, maybe a watch or tangled necklace. On the table next to his bed is a clock that looks like a triangle from the side. Granddaddy showed me how it can fold up like it's in a box. He really likes how it does that. I guess he likes things that work because I'm sorry. I guess he likes how things work because he is a scientist. When he smiles, I wonder what he's thinking about. My thoughts don't make me smile, except when I have the giggles. My sister was 5, and she saw him waving goodbye from the hospital window. But like I said, I don't remember much about Granddaddy. In memory of James Harvey Pym Sr. Let's shift gears here. These poems were written quite a while ago, so they don't represent what I am experiencing presently, but they do stand on their own. Mirage. Along the way, I've come to see what looks to me like harmony, a knoll within the winter gloom, of hearth and home, of heaven. Gently hill, tree, and roof, snow, smoke, cloud, and air, touch and blend discreetly, as if they'd grown together there. And could that a chapel be, keeping all as one? 'Twas then the frost returned to me, and this mirage of harmony. No kindness overflowing there to fill the aching chest. No mother's milk to nurture there at winter's white and frozen breast. Dirt, ice, stone, and wood were all that out before me stood. This one is a little more upbeat. Confidant. A place where isolation melts and one is befriended. A place of gentle ground where bare feet know no harm. A place where a child can stand and smile and become a woman and smile. A soft pillow on which to lay dark images, to rest and be gone. Where it is possible to be loved and then to love. A place where losses and triumphs become a dancing game, and we can feel here and then there the warmth of connection, fullness, and joy. Thank you for this opportunity to share. Now we will listen to Ruth regarding the morning pages.
Good morning. My name is Ruth, and I'm an artist. And I've been part of the Artist's Way class these past several weeks, and I want to share one piece of it with you, the morning pages. The Artist's Way class seemed destined to find me. I had recently purchased the book, having read about it on a website, and it sparked my interest. So naturally, it sat on my bedside table for quite some time, waiting for me. And then a friend and a UU member reached out to me with the class, and we decided to attend it together. Already synchrony. 1,000 unseen helping hands, Joseph Campbell suggested. On day 1, we learned that the morning pages, a writing exercise comprised of 3 longhand pages every morning, no editing, no second guessing, no crossing out, just a brain dump. Pen and paper invite you to empty your mind and let it wander freely across the page. The pages set you up to get into the artist's way. It's a commitment of time and tenacity and fortitude, and an essential part of the journey in ways that may surprise the journeyer. I was surprised at how much time this daily writing took because I unknowingly chose a rather large book. Nancy did not. Smart Nancy. So 3 pages a day was a lot. The content of my writing was another surprise. It didn't seem to map onto what I thought would be a dissection of my creative energy. In fact, it didn't seem to align with anything artistic or creative in me. Some of the prompts didn't resonate, and after a while, I got mad at the writing, which HB had warned us about. You're going to get upset. And I wanted to abandon it. It happened. I continued to show up. 1,000 helping hands kept me there. This course was also rife with map metaphors, journeys. The title, The Artist's Way, implies meaningful movement through something. I am not an adept map reader, but I can get behind a really good metaphor. I can read people, I can read a room, I can read a face, I can read a recipe, I can read a book. I love the idea and the aesthetic of a map, just not the actual reading. On a map, we can see where we've been, where we want to go, options for detours, potentially rough terrain, scenic routes. The Artist's Way guided us through this terrain, our terrain, with the morning pages and the tasks at the end of each chapter, the artist dates, with weekly meetings. For me, the morning pages helped to empty my mind, helped to structure my day when I needed it, helped to unstructure my day when I needed it, and helped to show me the interconnectedness, the interweaving of what was going on in my mind, my heart, and how that supported or disrupted my creativity. I honestly didn't see the connection between the content of my writing and this class until I did. 1,000 helping hands. Writing is a main highway on my own life map. It's an essential road that takes me to other places on the map, a journey that reminds me, invites me, encourages me to be Ruth, to be an artist, despite roadside distractions, roadblocks, and other travelers on the road. And the Artist's Way reminded me of that. And for that, I am grateful. The author says, for all creative beings, the morning pages are the lifeline, the trail we explore, and the trail home to ourselves. So thank you, Unitarians, for offering this class to the wider community. Thank you to our guide, HB. And thank you to my fellow travelers and to my friend, Nancy, for the invitation. 1,000 unseen helping hands. Now Mary is going to let us in on her artist date.
I've been a member of this congregation. I've been attending events here for 32 years, officially a member for 25. I've had many amazing experiences in those 32 years, but Artist's Way has been the most powerful, transformative, in many ways, the culmination of many other experiences I have had here. And my daughter, Catherine, raise your arms there. She is the reason questions she asked when she's 35, questions she asked when she was 3 brought me here. Her engagement has far more consistent mind than mine has kept me here. And I am infinitely grateful to her and to everyone in this congregation and to HB and to all the members of this group. I'm going to talk about Artist's Way, artist dates. And on artist dates, nobody can come with you physically. No kids, no pets, no partners. But many people come with you in their your hedge. She is one of the many people that has come along as part of my inner artist, as you will be hearing in this reflection. And I could really use your tech support. So, Catherine, if you would just come on down and sit right there, yes, next to all the props as my tech person. She didn't come on any of my artist dates, but she has heard me reflect on them and rehearse. So, wabi sabi reflections on my artist dates. To Mia, our first date back in May was a blind date, a leap of faith. I was hoping you'd come, but worried you'd ghost me. I knew nothing about you, not even sure you existed. I'm an economist, practical practitioner in a dismal science profession full of gloomy ears. Could there be a joyful inner artist somewhere within me? Filled with holy curiosity, seeking hope. I needed a muse, desperately wanted an inner artist to give me joy and purpose, good, orderly direction, hope, not despair. I heard about a dreamy, steamy, cool event, climbing the cosmic distance ladder, recounting thousands of years of human creativity, standing on the shoulders of giants to measure the universe. If I went, would my inner artist come? In a leap of faith, just in case you existed, I decided to give you the name Mia. MIA. Mia is an acronym for my inner artist. An alternate pronunciation, Mia. Me, followed by a long sigh. Are you in there, Mia? It's me, Mary. If you're in there, Mia, I sighed. Meet me tonight at MoMAth for a dreamy, streamy, steamy event in the Museum of Math in Manhattan's Nomad neighborhood to climb the cosmic distance ladder with me. Mia, bring me my crown. You met me at MoMAth, invisible, of course, but I was filled with your joy and exuberance. I knew you would come. We danced in concentric, eccentric, elliptical orbits on the mathematical, shape-shifting disco floor and climbed the cosmic distance ladder in awe together. Are you real or imaginary? Mia, does it really matter? Mia, you're complex, both real and imaginary. My awareness of you and the intentionality of our artist dates have changed the way I see the world. The universe is different since I connected with you, Mia, on that first fateful, hopeful, blind day. Bring me the polyhedron. You are a shape-shifting polyhedron. Bring me the disco ball with the disco light. You are a shape, turn it on. You are a shape-shifting polyhedron with many faces and facets, surfaces full of mirrors and prisms and lenses. Move it around. To perceive the world around us in countless different ways. Mia, I see you as an iridescent disco ball with many prismatic, mirrored, kaleidoscopic faces, each face corresponding to the perspective of an inspiring person, whether they are on this earth or only in memory. Each of my wondrous daughters is one of your faces. My late husband, my father, my mother, many ancestors, my beloved friends, teachers, and students, the people who shared the CDTA buses with us, the people we've met on benches shared, at bus stops and parks, pondering parabolas and prismatic rainbows and fountains, sharing the dappled shade of sunlight filtered by greenery. All of these folks are among your faces, Mia. The authors and artists who've inspired us: T.S. Eliot, Emily Dickinson, Eric Carle, Shakespeare, Blake, Whitman, Emerson, Madeline L'Engle, Tove Jansson, Gödel, Escher, Bach, Rumi and Rafi, Sister Mary Madaleva, Sonia Kovalevsky, Gandhi, Popes Francis and Leo, Bishop Buddy, Reverend King, Ruby Bridges and Rosa Parks, Ted Sorensen and Harris Wofford, Sargent and Eunice Shriver, Dorothy Day, Teilhard Desjardins, Thomas Merton, Parker Palmer, Amos and Micah, Miriam, Mary Magdalene, Heather Cox Richardson, Leah Penniman, Mickey and Rachel Kahn, Catherine of Siena, Claire of Assisi, the members of the Albany Area Mass Circle and Earth Circles in my UU Wellspring and Artist Way classes. My UU Wellspring spiritual directors, our VITA clients and Family Promise guests, the Sisters of Mercy, the Dominican Sisters of the Peace, the Franciscan friars from Siena who came to know King's Day, the Jesuits in Georgetown and Greenwich Village, Shekinah, Athena, Minerva, Sophia, Wisdom, Georgia O'Keeffe, no relation, just inspiration, Taylor Malley, and countless more. I can't name them all. Each of these is one of your prismatic faces, Mia. Everywhere we've gone on our artist dates, every time we've gone, the number of your polyhedral prismatic faces has grown. The piercing gazes we encountered at the Albany Institute's exhibit and the powerful portraits of Americans who tell the truth. Each of those faces we gazed at together is now one of your faces. Mia, sometimes you are convex. Get the other one. Sometimes you are concave. Sometimes you are hyperboloid, a topological wormhole in hyperspace. When we gaze together at the clouds or at the stars, moon and planets late at night, or at the dome in an incredible sound bath in the MySci Planetarium, or up at the Gothic arches in churches and cloistered walkways in my head, we are soaring up together through wormholes, through wrinkles in time, through tesseracts, into previously unseen dimensions and perspectives. We've walked miles and miles together in shared contemplation so many times this summer, Mia. You've woken me before dawn to walk uphill with me to the highest nearby point, wherever we happen to be, and gradually watch the dawn break in the east, together in awe. From the top of Troy Road at St. David's Lane, near the Sikh Temple and the Dominican Retreat House, we have faced the mountains to the east in the breaking dawn, with the road between us and the mountains devoid of vehicles, save for a solitary Sikh in his pickup truck, caring for his congregation's sacred space. Another memorable morning after visiting my mother in Arlington, Virginia, you woke me in the utter pitch dark pre-dawn, and we climbed the stairs to the rooftop of my mom's building, overlooking our beloved, troubled hometown of Washington, D.C. We watched with hope as the dawn finally broke from the east, the first rays of the sun illuminating the Washington Monument and the National Cathedral called out Bishop Buddy's powerful words for compassion and justice, heartened by the people of many faiths who have joined together, we know, We still need many more to join our voices calling for compassion and justice. Mia, Mia. We've walked in labyrinths and forest bathed together in places where I'd been without you many times before. The bird sanctuary on St. David's Lane, Elijah Kill Nature Preserve, Central Park in Schenectady, my own front porch veranda. But everything's different in this summer 2025 now that I've reconnected with you. Mia, Mia. You've heightened all my senses. You've called my attention to truly look at the lovely dappled sunlight filtering through leaves, to listen to the creatures' choirs of birdsong and insects in chorus, to inhale the clean, sweet aromas of nature, to feel the textures of the ground underfoot, even to appreciate the taste of berries differently. Mia, Mia, we've sat on benches in so many urban parks in Boston, Manhattan, Philadelphia, D.C., Albany, Troy, and Schenectady to witness beautifully diverse collections of folks from many cultures together, sharing transcendental public spaces, enjoying gifts of fresh air, sunshine, and green shade in peace and harmony. During our many long walks together, no technology, no earpods. Mia, Mia, you often make me recall snippets of songs and shards of poetry. Many epiphanies and insights come to mind when you are with me. Mia, Mia. When we walked together through labyrinths, your voice sang the birds, turn, turn, turn. On the grounds where the Shakers once farmed, you sang, 'tis a gift to be simple. You reminded me to recall the first peoples who lived here before all of us who later settled here. Whose woods these are, I think I know. The first line of a beloved poem by Robert Frost. But Mia, Mia, you asked me, did Frost really, do we really know whose woods these really are? Mia, Mia, you have so often reminded me this troubled summer of the English translation of a beautiful Hebrew song my soulmate husband and I have long loved to hear our daughter Catherine sing, alone or in harmony with the UUS choir, a friend, or a cousin. The world is ruled by three things: by truth, by justice, and by peace. May it be so.
I've learned that benediction is defined as the utterance or bestowing of a blessing, especially at the end of a religious service, invoking divine favor and good wishes. Speaking well of or a blessing. As I give this benediction, please keep the definition in mind. Not only are we receiving a blessing today, we are reminded to speak well to others and about others and to ourselves. May the blessings of all that is good and holy in our world and beyond rain down upon you. May your hearts absorb and multiply the joy and beauty that is so abundantly available to us in Mother Nature and the creative arts that are surrounding us and within us. You are important. Your time is important, your talents and your energy. They help us all to live a better life. Stay in the light. So mote it be.